And share screen also, I will give you the right. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, can you see my screen? Everyone can see my screen? Hello? Say yes.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Now you can
Yes,
unmute.
ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. So good evening, one and all. Today we are going to discuss about eCTD overview, and there will be a practical demonstration for the eCTD submission by using our 21 CFR Part 11 compliant eCTD software. And we are going to show today for the US and Europe. Let me introduce with me. There is one more my partner called Shiv Somani, and we have designed a eCTD software which is 21 CFR Part 11 compliant, and we have submitted more than 100 applications to US, Europe, Canada, GCC area, and so many countries. And all the applications were acceptable in all those countries. We couldn't get a single error or the RTR issues. So today, we two of us will take you through a whole eCTD overview. How does it applicable in our industry? Plus, how to actually submit the eCTD dossier, compile it, and make the submission plan. How to hyperlink, bookmark, and take you through the ESG gateway. So, whole procedure will be explained during this session. This session is very important, so I need your kind attention, please. Then all the images are taken freely, which are available in the internet, and the sources are acknowledged. So my agenda will start from the history. First of all, why to go electronic, right? Why to go electronic? Then there are different types of electronic submissions called eCTD and NIS. So what eCTD consists of basically? So we are going to discuss the components of eCTD. Then how do we prepare for the eCTD? Then what are the eye openers, bombshells, conclusions? So there are a very interesting topic we are going to discuss in today's session. So first of all, let us understand about the history. The eCTD, topic has begun in late 80s, but there was insufficient IT capability, and that is the reason. In old days, if you see, we used to submit all eCTD in the NIS format. NIS is nothing but it is CTD format, but organized in the PDF structure. So all the PDF file we used to arrange as per the CTD granularity, but there were no hyperlink, bookmark, and properly structured file as per the CTD granularity mentioned in the ICS specification, how we submit in today's day. So what are the challenges, what are the requirement in the current scenario will also be discussed when we start our demo in eCTD. So the history began, as I said, in late 80s, and then 1995 FDA used the PDF file with hyperlinks. Then 1997 CTD topics, that is ICH M4, got published. So whenever somebody asks how what ICH guidelines are applicable when we talk about CTD, the answer is ICH M4, because ICH is divided into quality, safety, efficacy, and multidisciplinary. Under multidisciplinary, ICH M4 is the main topic. Then there is ICH M8 also, which talks about eCTD. Then after 1997, the first eCTD guidelines was published in 2001. And then 2003 onwards, CTD become mandatory in Europe, and Europe was the first country to submit eCTD. Then 2006, there was a concept called life cycle management, which is also a challenge which came into picture. And from 2008 onwards, almost all countries like US, Europe, Japan have become, they have told us to submit eCTD format only. Once you enter into eCTD, there is no option. In Europe also, from January 2010, they started accepting only eCTD. So it has become a mandatory format. Then there are common misunderstanding about the CTD. CTD's full form is Common Technical Document. But there are misunderstandings. C is for common. The CTD is not common between US and Europe. If you see, the module 1 is different for US and it is different from Europe. How it is different, we are going to discuss today. And even if you recollect last week's lecture, we have discussed about full CTD organization right from module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So module 1 comprises of what administrative and prescribing information, and which is also called, it is a not part of CTD because module 1 is a regional specific requirement wherein we bring all the administrative data, the label and all other aspect into that module, and we have discussed it in detail during the last lecture. So C is for common, which is again it is not common. T is for technical, but the technical means the data related and includes clinical and safety data, not only the quality data. So here also what I mean to say, the technical word matters because if you see module 3, 4 and 5, module 3 is for CMC, which is a quality data, and in quality data we bring CMC means chemistry, manufacturing and control. We bring all the information about API and the finished formulation, that is called drug substance. S part, drug product. P part. So we have discussed this S part in detail during last session. If you recollect, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5, S6, S7 and P1 to P8. So in this way, we have to compile module 3 CMC module in a proper way and as per the granularity discussed under ICH specification. Then D for document. A better term would have been dossier because only document is not there. We are compiling full dossier in the format of CTD or eCTD. So what is not common? Data set for Europe and US differ in many instances, and level of details in the additional topics for either US or Europe. So CTD is again, it is a format only. So content you have to organize as per by using different ICH guidelines and as per your own experience. So I always say people like, please be organized. If you are unorganized, this is the situation you are going to face. So be organized, and CTD is really a very highly organized structure which we have to follow in the industry. If you are not properly organized, your dossier reviewer, where you are sending your application to US, Europe, Canada, and all other countries, the reviewer sitting in the respective country will get confused, frustrated, and irritated if you don't send your eCTD in an organized manner. So let us talk about why go electronic. So there are three parameters which are very important, extremely important, I would say, because of quality. First of all, we give the better quality because in when we apply send the application by using eCTD software, the entire life cycle of the product is covered. Just imagine one product development, it takes 10 to 12 years when we start with the first non-clinical study, right? During the non-clinical phases. So during non-clinical phases, module 4 data, when we have to compile, so it takes again for the non-clinical 3 to 4 years. Then we enter into the clinical phases. Clinical again comprises of phase 1, 2 and 3. So in this way, one molecule to come into market takes 10 to 12 years, and the data would be very huge right from IND, NDA till ANDA. That is why the entire life cycle, if you manage by using eCTD software, would be the good option from the employer point of view and from the reviewer point of view, because huge time you are going to save. Then easy and rapid call-up of information. Then the information is highly organized as per the granularity, and it is easy, like it is a single click button. You have to just click and all information will be available for your review. Then second factor, which is again very important, the cost, right? Once you build a quality, the cost doesn't matter, but still when you are going to compile your dossier, whether it is IND, NDA, AND application, and you are going to maintain entire cycle by using that software, the cost will be reduced as compared to when you handle the paper submission and you have to employ many people, and you just think about the how many people are required for the paper submission, the printing cost, the paper transportation cost, then the paper storage cost, archival cost. So in this way, we are saving cost because in this paper transportation, storage, archival, everything is not required when we submit our application in the format of eCTD. Then it is very fast, more efficient, and quicker registration. And the third, the most important thing is environmentally responsible. Why I'm saying this is the most important factor? Because if you see one NC is a new chemical entity which is approximately 240,000 pages, and paper for this would be 672 kg, which is equivalent to one average tree. So just imagine a single company would be having multiple products, multiple applications to submit multiple countries. An entire tree is required to submit a single copy of the application form to that is one application to one health authority. And imagine there are 257 countries in this world. So if any single company or the applicant who is going to submit their application for all these countries, how many trees would have been cut? So this third factor is very, very important. I would say extremely important to save our trees. Then there are types of electronic submission called NEES, that is non-eCTD electronic submission, which is a scanned version of paper submission without backbone. And eCTD means the documents in intelligent PDF, JPG or GIF format with folder or the tree structure and with the XML backbone. Here XML backbone plays an important role, and you are going to learn today how the XML backbone is created by using eCTD software. Then the eCTD can be submitted as the first eCTD sequence as a tetra zero, that is 0000, or triple zero, that is called initial submission. And following, when you are going to make the versions, then it becomes 0001, 0002, 0003, and like. So it could be your next versions like for the amendments, supplements, or CMC supplement, whatever supplement you are going to submit to the health authority, the versioning should be controlled. So for each eCTD, it has its own folder structure, content file, XML index.file, that is called XML backbone from the module 2 to 5. Then there is a regional XML file, then the country specific metadata, which is module 1. TOC. In module 1, as I explained during last lecture, the TOC of TOC, that means TOC of module 1 plus TOC of module 2, 3, 4, and 5 has to be included. Then there is the, if you want to go for dossier lifecycle management, then again XML backbone is very important. Then there are additional and optional components, like you can use study tagging file, STF for module 4 and 5. Then EAF, structured labeling. This is a requirement specifically for the US FDA. So STF and SPL, these are the two mandatory requirements when we are going to handle submission to US FDA. Then there is PIM, that is product information management. So this is how the entire folder structure looks like. So how much you break the granularity of folder, then subfolder, then the content file. It it is given in our CTD guidelines, and even we will show you how it is organized through our software. So basically, these are the components of eCTD. You can see these are the folder structure. When you are going to submit the original application, it is tetra 0. And then module 1, module 2, 3, 4, 5 are organized. And under this module, you are going, there will be a subfolders, like I have shown the hierarchy right earlier. So there will be a subfolders, and in under subfolder there is content file. So all these content file, if you see, those are the PDF files. So this is the hierarchy maintained like tetra 0, under which module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there will be a util folder called utility folder is generated automatically when you are using eCTD software. Okay. And there are checksum files, regional.xml file, so which creates the XML backbone. So we will see, she will explain this in detail. So these are the components which are mandatory requirement when you are going to submit your eCTD, and you have to understand the terminology, how it is used and why it is used. Let us see the definition of DTD. So you will see that what kind of DTD, what version is important when we submit our application to US, when you submit your application to Europe. So DTD version is a mandatory requirement as per country specific. So what is the purpose of DTD? DTD purpose is to define the legal building blocks of an XML backbone. So as I said, XML is a backbone which is a preferred format for the eCTD submission by US and Europe. So DTD plays an important role, and in that the version, the current version should be applicable. And it defines the document structure with a list of legal elements. Then what is style sheet? Style sheet is the language used to describe the presentation semantics, the look and the formatting of a document written in markup language. So XML is a markup language, right? So the style in which the semantic which is used to write that language to look and formatting is called the style sheet. And it is the most common application is to style web pages or written in HTML or XHTML, but the language can also be applied to any kind of XML. Then there is a word called checksum. Checksum is also called as a hash sum, and it is a fixed, or hold on, somebody joining. So it is a fixed size datum computed from an arbitrary block of digital data for the purpose of detecting accidental errors that may have been introduced during its transmission or storage. So the integrity of the data can be checked at any later time by recomputing the checksum and comparing it with the stored one. You might have seen whenever you store any file, the automatic temp file is generated. Even if you save your Word file, XML, Excel file in your computer, there is always a temp file is generated. So when you are handling the huge data in CTD or eCTD format, so checksum plays an important role. It is nothing but it is a alpha. You can see this is an example of checksum. So this checksum or the algorithm is very important because a good checksum algorithm will yield a different result with high probability when the data is accidentally corrupted. And if the checksum matches, the data is very likely to be free of accidental error. So when we used to submit our eCTD in the form of DVD or CD, we used to always attach this checksum along with our cover letter because it is a mandatory requirement to submit this checksum whenever you are submitting your eCTD to respective health authority. Then these are the components we have discussed: DTD, style sheet, checksum, there is a lib element, then there is a directory structure and the XML backbone. XML is nothing but extensible markup language, a structured data exchange standard that is both human and the machine readable. And of course, if it is a both human and machine readable, then only you are going to it will be going to be very user friendly. And that is why this XML backbone is a mandatory requirement for eCTD. And which shows the backbone, which help in creating the table of content, and which is only the backbone. Then leaf, which leaf contains information about a document in the eCTD, will reference to a physical file on the file system. There is a node also, a section in the eCTD that is 3.S.4.1, which contains the leaf document. Then eCTD file name is very, very important. So there is a file naming convention which is used while giving the file name, and those will be taught to you during our practical session. But our software is designed in such a way that the file naming convention is automatically done, even if you miss out any writing. Say for example, you are attaching analytical report for paracetamol tablet, and you have to give the file name as anal report para whatever, but the 3.2.5.1 section is missed out. So you have to just drag and drop that file, and the automatically file naming convention will be taken care by our software, and that will be shown to you during our demo session. Then there is a lift title and eCTD sequence we have already discussed. There is a tetra zero or triple zero. You can start with the original application. Then during lifecycle management, there are four attributes you have to remember. That is new, replace, append, and delete. New means whenever you are submitting new file, new document, newly attached, new cover letter, that time you have to add new button. Use the new button. This is also again it will be shown in our during our software demo. Replace means whenever you want to replace any information, any document, you can replace. Append means within a document, if you want to append, that also with example we can cover up. Then there is eCTD metadata, MD5 checksum, baseline submission, current view. Baseline submission is nothing but it's providing all the current submission document as an initial eCTD sequence. So many health authorities highly recommend baseline being provided, but industry position is that they should not be mandated. Not mandatory requirement, but it is good to give the baseline submission. And then uh, there is uh, regulatory activity, a collection of eCTD sequences related to same regulatory steps like a variation sequence and associated response sequence. So when you talk about European submission, lots of variations are generated as per type A and type B, the minor variation, major variation. Then under minor also they are divided as. So that is why A and B, again you have to study well and attach a particular document in the particular sequence in a properly organized manner. Then document reuse, study tagging file also will be shown. As I said, study tagging file and SPL is a mandatory requirement for US FDA. Node extension is used for the Europe, Canada, Australia, GCC, Thailand and all. And this STF is not allowed in Japan and not required for any other health authority, but in only US. Then schema DTD provides rules on how the XML must be structured. A style sheet used to display the eCTD XML in a user-friendly manner. So this is how the XML backbone looks like, and we are going to really, see this today. So before start of eCTD, as I said last week, we have to prepare all the templates and you have to check all the information going in each document should be technically correct. Then you should have the right granularity, then conform to external regulations, guidelines. So to whom you are going to submit your application, you have to stick to those particular country specific regulations and guidelines and prepare your dossier accordingly. Then it should be consistent with internal standards and styles, naming convention. Then there is an intelligent PDF file. So all dossier are based basically it contains as I shown the content file is always submitted in the form of PDF. PDF is nothing but it is a acceptable, universally acceptable format, and you can use any Adobe or Nitro or Fixit, any licensed version you can use to convert your file into PDF. And some software are already available in which whenever we submit the data in Word format, it has facility to convert it into PDF directly. Then we can use SAS, statistical analysis system report. It is generally used in the module 4 and module 5. Then there is RTF, JPG files are allowed. Then there are text files with TOC, XML backbone. So this is the structure and data, how it is organized in the eCTD that we have discussed in this slide. Then the granularity defines how the completed document is broken down, tagged, and stored for reuse. Because what happens, any applicant, any XYZ company would not like to send only one dossier to one country. They would like to take their product to multiple countries. Suppose today I'm taking like application, sending application for paracetamol tablet to Russia. So I got the approval, and tomorrow I feel that paracetamol tablet is highly in demand, and I can enter into Europe, US, and rest of the world. So like that, the multiple application we can do by using this same granularity and same. Only thing, the module 1 and the technical requirement you have to change as per the country specific requirement, and the granularity has to be broken down tag as per those requirements, and you can reuse the same tetra 0 or triple 0 version which was submitted earlier to Russia. Then granularity also determines smallest piece of information that is reusable. Now what happens, suppose if you are attaching PDR in the P2 section in the drug product, so PDR also can be broken down into 3 to P2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, like 2.6, so that you can make 6 to 7 separate documents and attach. Because when there are changes or any health authority deficiency comes, it is easy to replace that piece of information, which can be reusable. Instead of changing all the documents together, it is better to give the information in the small piece. So that is how this granularity, how you maintain it is up to the client. It is a client decision how you can organize your granularity when you are submitting your eCTD. Then changing granularity during life cycle is difficult. Therefore, must be planned at the beginning. And it is a FDA guidance. Each document should be provided as a separate file. Then intelligent PDF file converted to special PDF format, enabling links and bookmarks to be applied, and hence it is searchable. So all PDF file, why it is called intelligent file? Because it is searchable whenever you, because see, each CTD comprises of module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if a reviewer want to search any particular file, say for example, quality overall summary, so it should be a searchable, so that is why the PDF has to be it is called, also called it as an intelligent PDF file, so that it is searchable, and it is, and when it is searchable, because we are providing links and bookmarks, am I right? So links and bookmarks play an important role when we use eCTD software, and this also will be shown during our demo session. Then there is a intralink and the interlink, inter-document. So bookmarks are always, the intra-document links. So most inter-document links can be automatically set using templates. To set each link manually would take many hours, right? Suppose if you are attaching clinical summary report, which is of 150 pages, so it would be very difficult for the reviewer to review that document. Suppose on the page number 5, you are mentioning refer table number 18, which is given on page number 51. So along with that page 5, he has to refer to page number 51. So if you can bookmark and hyperlink that 5 number page with the 51 page table, it would, the reviewer's job become very easy, right? Otherwise it would take many hours to go through all the pages. So that is why this bookmark hyperlinking plays an important role when we talk about eCTD. Then inter-document, that cross-reference document in the context of other documents. Say for example, if you are referring a stability report, and along with stability report, like which is given in 8.P8, 8.2 or 8.3 section, and in that report you are saying that the cumulative data based on the we have compiled this data, and the results are given in the stability report, but for specification you have to refer to P5 section. And suppose the section, in that section, particular section, you are attaching specification like 3 to 5.1. So you have to hyperlink that 3 to 5.1 to our P8.3 section. So when you see the actual software wherein we hyperlink, intralink, interlink, it would be very easy to understand. Today we are going to take that also. And that's all about eCTD. And let us actually see our eCTD submission. These are the references from where I brought the information. And thank you for your kind attention. And I will give now an access to our Shiv Somani, who is my partner in eCTD software. And we are, doing wonderful job for our country, for US, Europe, Canada, GCC. We are submitting many submission by using this software. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any question, we will discuss for 5 to 10 minutes, and then she will take you through the actual eCTD demonstration. Thank you so much.